Right, now what I'm trying to do is I've made a frame to go on the front. I've made heat the metal up, made it into like a half moon. So what's going to happen is the helmet, I've started taking it apart, taking the front sections off. I won't be needing them. What I'm doing here is making the frame. It's going to fit around the helmet like so, with the half moon. It's all going to bolt like so. So we're going to have a frame sitting on the front of the helmet to hold everything in place. Now what we've got here is with the frame, you'll obviously have the screen here that's going to be facing in towards the helmet. You've got your Therm camera that's going to be facing away. They'll be connected together. And what you're going to need is a mirror coming in down here, so it will reflect the screen off the mirror and down. And then obviously from there there's going to be a glass at another 45-degree angle, so that the screen is going to reflect onto the mirror, down to the glass, and then into your eyes, so that you get like a holographic head-up display, so you can see where you're going, and you can also see the thermal image in front of you relative to what you can see around you as well. So hopefully it should work quite well. Okay, now I've got the section, half moon section here, which will fit to the helmet, now tacked onto the frame. As you can see, my welding's not the best in the world, but it's not too bad. It's quite a thin frame, quite difficult to work with a welder like this on such a small unit. But I've got the amps turned right down, so it shouldn't come out too bad. Once it's all sprayed up, you won't see the weld marks. Slight angle because the helmet's slightly angled at the rim, so it should level this off. So it should fit quite nicely. So now what I've got to do is make some more frame parts up like I have here. That will go there to there, and then another one from there to there, just to strengthen the frame. And then I'll probably have one going direct to the helmet, somehow bolted onto the helmet at the top, just to give it more strength, so it's not going to go anywhere. It should work out okay, so I'm quite happy so far. Right, so now as you can see, I've kind of tacked it all together. It's quite a light frame. I've welded in all the right places, hopefully. As you can see, I'm not the most fantastic welder in the world. I'm a jack of all trades really. But it's come together quite nicely. The angle is just about right for the helmet. So when the helmet goes on, best of bringing that over. When the helmet goes on, and this connects to it. There we go. It'll fit roughly like that. Obviously, when you're all strapped into the helmet, you're going to have a little bit of weight on the front. See, your neck doesn't hurt, and you don't have to use your neck muscles too much, because there is going to be a little bit of weight on the front. We're going to have to balance it by putting something on the back just to balance it out a bit, but it should be okay. Right, so what I've done now, I've bolted it all on. I've fitted the styrofoam padding back on, the bolts that hold the sides on. Also, what I've done as well is I've added to the frame so that you've got a natural hole which was designed for this helmet with this little bracket here that holds your normal night vision equipment on. Has a few natural holes in it. I've utilised one there, and I've bolted the framework to that to give it extra strength in the upper part. So now it's quite a strong little frame. There's a little bit of forward weight, obviously. I'm going to have to counterbalance that by putting a little bit of weight on the back so you don't hurt your neck. All this framework will be have fabric put over it, so yes, it does look a little bit ugly at the moment, but once the fabric goes over, you're not going to see it anyway, so it's not a problem. Obviously your screen is going to go in this section facing that way. The mirror is going to go at this angle, 45 degrees, so the reflection of the screen is aimed downwards, and then obviously you're going to have another glass section, another 45 degrees, aiming towards your eyes, so you get a head-up display look. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So that's so far. Right, we're now halfway there, roughly. I've got some more bits and pieces together that I'm going to need to finish it off. Obviously you're going to need the glass to reflect what's coming out on the screen. Also need to be able to see through it as well. Got the mirror. That obviously is for reflecting as well. Glue, needle and thread, because we're going to put fabric over it to hide all that, and to keep the light from escaping, because you don't want to see light creeping out at night, so people won't be able to see you. Also we have some Velcro in there. I've got a spare bracket. Got another mounting bracket that you usually mount cameras. It fits on the Therm app quite well, so that's going to be bolted to here. So then the Therm app will be able to dangle underneath it, and because it's got a ball joint, you'll be able to adjust the camera as needed. And I've got hinges, so the glass can be hinged up and down, so it's out of your way. It comes down, so you can then see the screen and see through it. And adjust the angle, just in case it's needed. That's about it, really. So I'm going to carry on with the build. Right, as you can see now, I've got the ball joint connected to the Therm app. Obviously the camera's not in there yet because it's videoing it. I've also got a mirror at a right angle, yeah, so that will reflect down onto the glass. So once the phone slots into there, the viewing will be projected onto the mirror and then down and then back into the eyes with the other one. And let's hope this last little test, that's why I've cable tied it in, just to make sure I've got the right angle. I'll do a last little test before I finish off putting the mirrors on. Alright, now that all the framework's done, this has all been measured out works fine. Now welded on a hinge, so that will hinge up the glass up and down in front of your face. We've got the ball joint attached to everything else. All we need now is to get your fabric. I mean, this particular one is neoprene. We're going to cut this out, sew it into sections, so it'll cover this nicely, give it a little bit of waterproofing, and we'll make it look a bit more attractive than that. As I said before, it's not a hard project. If you can't get steel or copper, if you haven't got the tools like a welding kit, you can even use Meccano. I know it sounds daft, but you can build Meccano square out of Meccano, bolt it together, and have the same sort of framing. As long as it's square shaped, it'll be quite sturdy enough to hold this together like it is now. So we'll finish off with putting the fabric on, making it all look pretty, and then I tested it earlier, it all lines up lovely. The only problem is obviously because you've got all this weight on the front, it's going to put pressure on your neck, so we're going to have to bolt another piece of metal on the back just to counterbalance. It should be fine. I've now cut the neoprene strips. Neoprene strips. That one's obviously going to go on the top. It's the front part. I've labelled everything so that I know where it's going to go. These are obviously going to be the sides. The way it's all sewn together, it'll stretch around the framework and make it look a little bit better. Also, while that's doing, I'm going to spray the frame up so it looks a bit better than what it is at the moment. And then we'll finalise it, put it together. There we are, nearly finished. Sprayed this all up so it looks a little bit better. It's going to be hidden underneath some fabric anyway. Mirrors in. Haven't glued it yet, just want to make sure. All I've done is put it in place so I can adjust it up and down, find out where it really needs to be. And obviously this is now on a hinge, so you can get it exactly where you want it. And all we've got now to do is put a weight on the back and put the cover on. Velcro on the back. Yeah. This is inside out at the moment. It'll be that side will be facing outwards once it's done. The Velcro will connect onto here, so it will be all covered in, and hopefully it'll look a bit better than it does at the moment. All that's left to do now is I've obviously got all the fabric I want, nearly finished. The counterweight is now at the back to counterbalance the weight we've got on the front. It's not a complete exact ratio, but it does support the neck a lot better. We've got all our mirrors set up now, so we can adjust it how we want. So it's pretty much on. All I need to do now is I'll be sewing this all the way along to the side of this, same as this side as well, and then obviously giving it a fold so that when the camera is slotted in here, it completely folds in so no light escapes. So yeah, it works really well. I've tested it. I was actually really thrilled. how well it works, especially with the glass. I was actually putting my hand in front because it looked like a hologram. It was really good. I will say though, the 35mm lens has a little bit too much magnification. That needs to be less magnification. So the Therm 35mm lens, it's a little bit too much magnification. I will be downsizing that to test, because when you're looking at everything is in line and it flows really well, but it doesn't quite mesh with what your eyes would see, so everything's zoomed in a little bit more. I think the best view you would get on the head-up display of your thermal image would be to have this exactly to your eyes, 1-to-1 ratio. So probably I would say between a 19mm, somewhere around about that, to give you the correct magnification. I mean, this is the 25Hz version, so it's very smooth. I wouldn't go for one of the others, it would be very jittery, same as some of the other makes. If you try and do this with a Seek or one of the others, it just wouldn't be able to keep up. This is very smooth and it feels crisp, looks crisp. It's just, I was blown away myself, just the way this whole setup works. It works a lot better than I thought it would. So as you can see, just to take you through it all one more time, obviously I like to buy a helmet. I've adapted it, made a frame. You could make a frame out of whatever you want really. If you've got a 3D printer you could do it. If you had a whole Meccano set you could do it. Obviously you need a mirror and glass just at the right angle, so that where your phone's going to be sitting, it's going to reflect the light onto here, and then into your eyes. So you've got it like so. If you don't, you're either going to have an upside down image which isn't going to work right. When you turn your eyes to the head to the left, the picture will swoop to the right. It just doesn't work. Not only that, because of the distance between your eye, the glass, the mirror, then the camera, you're not out of focus. You cannot focus that close to the screen, and you obviously need this to give it a head-up display, sort of like an image in front of you. The good thing is the fact that because it's glass all around you only have the thermal image there on part of the screen. You still have all your peripheral vision around, below, either side, slightly up above as well, to the left and right. So in twilight you can still walk around normally, even in the middle of the night, in darkness, full moon, you can quite happily look out the sides and still see where you're going. You've got some sort of visual other than the thermal. I've yet to try it in sunlight. I mean, the thermal will work in sunlight, but I don't know what the reflection will be like, but I'm going to find out. So the next part of the video I'll be taking this out, and what I'll try and do to give you a bird's eye view is to mount the camera. Obviously my head's not going to be there, I'll have to mount the camera there facing that way, and I'll have to physically hold the helmet and pan it around so you can have a good view of what it's going to look like. If your head was in there, that's the only way I can do it really. And then I'll do some more testing later. Thank you very much for watching.